Hello friends, in our previous lecture we have completed 4 sums regarding the all 4 uses of the bill. Now as I said in my previous lecture that the next topic is regarding the dishonor of bill. Now what do you mean by dishonor of the bill? Dishonor means to reject. As we have learned that thing in chapter of cash book that when a check is dishonored, the opposite entry is made to give the effect of this dishonor. And we have learned in the chapter of that bank reconciliation statement also that when the check is dishonored, you have to reverse the entry. Suppose if you have drawn the check, then amount will be subtracted. Then if the check is dishonored, amount will be directly added. And in the opposite way, if you have deposited the bank, then bank will add. And if it is dishonored, again bank will subtract. And in the chapter of cash book also, when the check is received, we will write on debit side. When the check is dishonored, we will write on credit side. In the same way now, when the bills receivable is dishonored, you have to reverse the entry. And again there are 4 types because there are 4 uses of the bill. So for dishonoring the bill also there are 4 types now, which we are seeing on page number 88. On page number 88 you can see the heading dishonor of a bill. Now I am reading in that in the normal situation the acceptor of the bill has to pay the money of the bill on its maturity date. But on the maturity date, if the acceptor of the bill is not in the position to pay the money of the bill or does not want to pay the money does not pay the money of the bill due to any other person, any other reason, it can be said that the bill is dishonored. Due to the dishonor of the bill, drawer or other parties have to face the problem of collection of the money. Example, if the bill has endorsed to someone else or been discounted with the bank and it is dishonored, a question arises who will pay the money to them. Okay, why this question is arising? Because see, if when we are keeping the bill with ourselves, then there is not a problem. But if we have discounted the bill with the bank and we have taken the money in advance from the bank, now if on the maturity date the bank is not receiving the money which they have given in advance, then who will pay that money? Because our customer is not paying the money. And in the same way, if the bill is endorsed to the third person and if third person is not receiving the money, then who will give that money to the third person? All such aspects we have to consider. Noting of dishonor of bill. Generally when the bill is dishonored, then it is required to be noted. This is a legal procedure, okay? Noting of dishonor of bill is not compulsory, but it is essential and advisable. When the bill is dishonored, the holder of the bill can note dishonor of the bill with the notary. In foreign trade, noting of dishonor of bill is compulsory. Noting means to note our bill that it is dishonored. When a dishonored bill is presented to the notary for noting, the notary presents the bill again to the acceptor of the bill and orders him to pay the money. Even if the acceptor of the bill does not pay the money, the treating the bill dishonored, the notary officially records the dishonor of the bill in the books. Now suppose the person from whom we have to receive the amount is not paying the money in any of the circumstances, then we will do some legal procedure on it. And if at all he is not paying the money, then he will be noted as a defaulter customer. Okay, noting charges. The notary charges a certain fee. Notary means a type of a legal representative, or you can say a type of professional who is noting this thing. Now if I am saying that advocate and notary, if you are reading the board of an advocate, then it would be written advocate and notary, but it is not necessary that all the advocates are doing noting work, because they have to pass some other qualification for that. So in short we can say he is a type of advocate, he is a type of wakil, but it is not necessary that he may be performing the work of noting. So there can be other person also who is noting this. The notary charges a certain fee for noting the bills dishonored, which are called noting charges or dishonor charges. Underline this thing, that we have to pay some charges for notary, and that charges are known as noting charges. These noting charges are paid by the person for getting the dishonor of the bill noted with the notary. But the final legal responsibility for paying the noting charges is that of the acceptor of the bill, because this expense is incurred due to his failure to pay the money on maturity date. Now first, what will happen? The noting noting charges will have to pay, we will have to pay, the trader has to pay the noting charges at first, then he can recover that noting charges from his customer. Why he will recover from his customer? Because it is the fault of the customer who is not paying the money. So due to him, the trader is expending the necessary amount for him. Now again in future, that customer will give that noting charges to the trader. Okay. Accounting entries for dishonor of bill. Okay. Now we will pass the 4 different types of entries. So again we will make a format. We will give the heading dishonor of bill. In that format of journal entries. In books of trader and here in books of customer. Again there will be 4 different types of entry because there are 4 uses of bill, so the entry will all be 4 times. Okay. Now as you know, there are 4 uses of the bill. If we are discussing the first use, then when the bill is kept with oneself till the maturity date and nothing is done with the bill, simply the amount is received. So the here also first type will be same. When the bill is kept with oneself till the maturity date and is dishonor. What this heading is meaning to tell? See, normally if I am speaking the entries, first entry is for here for sales, here for purchase. Second entry here is for drawing the bill, here is for accepting the bill. Now, if there is, according to type 1, the first use of bill, we are doing nothing with the bill, we are waiting till the maturity date, then for that entry will be cash or bank account debit to bills receivable account. And here in this case they are telling that instead of making that entry, what you will make, see, we cannot make that third entry now. Why we cannot make that third entry? Because we are waiting till the maturity date. Now here the thing will be confusion because first and second entry are same. Now when third entry is required and when third entry is not required, when directly this entry will come, here directly this entry will come, because we are doing nothing with the bill, we are waiting till the maturity date. So when the bill is kept with oneself till the maturity date, now in normal circumstances the amount will be received, here amount is not received and the bill is dishonored. Now what to do? The entry will be customer account debit to bills receivable account. Customer account debit to bills receivable account and to cash account. Now if you are understanding this entry is the opposite entry for writing the bill instead of this cash. So when we are writing or when we are drawing the bill, what is the entry? That bills receivable account debit to customer account. Bills receivable to customer. Now when the bill is with oneself till the maturity date and is dishonored, entry will be reversed and plus cash will be credited because we have to pay the noting charge first. First we are a trader, first we will pay the noting charge, then we will recover that noting charge from our customer. Okay, so customer account debit to bills receivable to cash value. Here the entry will be fixed in all the four cases, same like the previous. In previous, if we are using the bill in four different types, entry was same. Here also, when we are dishonoring the bill, the entry will be same always. And what is that fixed entry? Bills payable account debit, noting charges account debit to cash or bank account. Sorry, not to cash bank account. This is my mistake. To trader account. Okay. Here the fixed entry will be bills payable debit, noting charges debit to trader account. Now, why this entry is passed? Again, this entry is opposite of the second entry. When we are accepting the bill from our trader, then trader to bills payable. Now, opposite entry will be bills payable to trader, and additionally noting charges are debited. Here additionally cash is debited. What is the reason behind it? Here the trader is first paying the noting charge, then that same noting charge he will recover from his customer. So for customer it is the expense, so always he will debit the noting charges. Okay, so this was about number 1. Narration is not required because a fixed narration will be there, being bill dishonored. Okay, so I am not writing the narration. Now number 2. Now the second use of the bill was we have discounted that bill with the bank before the maturity date. So we have received the amount before the maturity date and this bill is dishonored on the maturity date. So before the maturity date the entry will come, and on the maturity date we have to make some entry, and that we are writing. When the bill is discounted with bank before the maturity date and is dishonored. So here the bill is discounted before the maturity date, so that entry is required because first we have to receive the amount and then it is dishonored when the maturity date is coming. So now what entry will be made? Customer account debit to bank account including charges, and here the entry will be fixed always. Bills payable account debit noting charges account debit to trader account. Why this type of entry? See, this entry is totally opposite for drawing the bill here also. And additional here is that noting charges, here additional is cash. Now why this entry we have to make, I will explain. That we have discounted the bill with the bank before the maturity date. And why we are discounting the bill before the maturity date? The trader is in need of money, he cannot wait till the maturity date, he will go to the bank and will take the money advance from the bank so that he can use that money till the maturity date, and on the maturity date customer will pay the amount to the bank which we have taken in advance. Now before the maturity date we have received the amount. Now customer has to pay the money on the maturity date to the bank, but customer is not paying, so we have to refund that amount to the bank. We have to refund to that amount to the bank, and customer will give us in future. So customer will give us in the future, so now he will the benefit receiver. So customer will be debited, bank will be credited including noting charge. See here noting charge is shown separately by crediting cash account. Here it is including noting charges, and here entry will be always fixed. Now number 3, when the bill is endorsed to third person before maturity date and is dishonored. Now, according to the third type of use, we are discounting that bill, we are endorsing that bill to a third person to whom we have to pay the money before the maturity date. So, we have given that bill to our customer before the maturity date, so that entry is over, other person will be debited, bills receivable will be credited. But now again on the maturity date, this customer is not paying the money, and we have given the bill to the other person. Now what to do again? The journal entry will be customer account debit to other person account. Customer account debit to other person account, including charges. Now, why including charges the entry is made, I will explain. And here a fixed entry, bills payable account debit noting charges account debit to travel account. Now see friends, we are endorsing our bill which we have to receive from our customer to the third person. So I will explain this link here, A, B and C. Here B is trader, C is customer and A is other person. Now what is the normal case? This B has to receive from C and B has to pay to A. So what B is telling to C that you directly pay to A. Okay, I explained this thing before also, that B is the trader, C is the customer, B have to receive from C. So C has to pay to B, B has to pay to A. So this B will request C directly pay the amount to A, and we are doing that thing in the third time, that the bill which is written on C we are endorsing to A. So A will receive the money on the maturity date directly from C, but now this C is not paying to A. C is not paying to A and A is having that bill. This is B, this is C, A is having that bill. Now A is having that bill and bill is dishonored in his hands. So he has to pay the noting charges first. So entry is this way, that customer will be debited. This customer who is not paying the money will be debited and other person will be credited including noting charge, because due to this C, other person has to pay the noting charges because C is not paying the money to him. Here understand, B is the trader, C is his customer and A is some third person. So first, in the normal case, C will pay to B, B will pay to A. So directly B is requesting that you directly pay the amount to A. But on the maturity date, this person is not receiving the money from C. So this person is holding of the bill. So he is the holder of the bill. He will pay the noting charge and then he will recover from C. So customer debit, other person credit. Okay. Now last. When the bill is sent to bank for collection and is dishonored. Now in the fourth and the last type, we are sending that bill to the bank for collection. So we are assisting our bank that you collect the bill from our customer on our behalf. Now again that bill is dishonored. Now two entries are given in the textbook, but we will write only one entry because that one entry is only possible instead of the two entries. Customer account debit bank commission account debit to bills sent to bank for collection account and to bank account, including noting charges. Here entry is always same. Bills payable account debit, noting charges account debit to trader account. Now friends, when the bill is sent to bank for collection and we are assisting the bank to collect the bill, now it is the fault of customer that he is not paying the money on maturity date. So it is not of fault of bank. So bank in any case will charge this commission. If the bank is collecting the amount or not collecting the amount, we have given that work to the bank to collect the bill. Now if the customer is paying the money or not paying the money, bank commission is still fixed, which you can see in our previous entry also. Bank commission will be debited because whether the customer pay the money or not pay the money, bank has given his service properly. So bank commission will be debited. So customer debit, bank commission debit, and the bill which is sent to the bank for collection cannot be collected now, so it will be credited, and bank will be credited including commission and noting charges. Okay, so this entry is little bit important, and here a fixed entry is there. Now friends, if you have to see the similarity and if you have to understand this concept very properly, one thing is there that on the maturity date, that fixed entry, bills payable to cash bank, will not come, and instead of it, one fixed entry, bills payable account debit, noting charge account debit to trader account, a fixed entry will come. Here if you need to understand, then there is one hint. When the bill is dishonored, now see, first use is regarding on the maturity date. So first two entries will come directly this entry. Now in 2, 3 and 4, we are making some entry before the maturity date. So that entry will come. Here we are discounting the bill. That will come. Here we are endorsing the bill. That will also come. Here we are sending the bill. That entry will come. Now on the maturity date, here there were no entries. If you are seeing the previous format, here there was no entry and here there was entry. But instead of that no entry and entry, what we have to write? We have to write these entries, and in this all four entries, see one common thing, always customer is debited. If you want to understand properly, I will give the hint. Here always entry is same, and here always the customer is debited. See in first, second, third and fourth. When the bill is dishonored, a fixed entry will be there, customer will be debited, because we have to receive the amount from customer. He has not paid the money, so we have to receive the amount from our customer, so customer will be always debited. Now what should be credited? According to the use. Here bill was kept with oneself till the maturity date, nothing is done, so bills receivable and cash is credited because the bills is rejected and we have to pay the noting charge. Here bill was discounted with the bank, so bank will be credited. Here the bill was endorsed to third person, so third person will be credited. Here the bill is sent to bank for collection, so bank collection account will be credited. So this is the common point in it, that when the bill is dishonored, always you can see customer is debited. What should be credited? According to the use. Here nothing is there, so bills receivable and cash. Here bank is discounted, so bank. Here other person is there, so other person, and here bill sent to bank, so bill sent to bank. So this is the common point in all. So I think that now you all have understood these entries. So tomorrow we will start this sum. Again there will be 4 sums, one each. So 4 sums are left. Within 2 days we will complete this thing and we will start the next chapter in our next upcoming lectures. So that's all for today. Thank you so much.